Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, and Lauren. Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
Hey, I'm Catherine.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
And we're Cimorelli.
Partially. Woo! Welcome to episode 127 of the Cimorelli podcast. Woo! We miss Lisa's accent. Welcome to everyone who is on Patreon. You're getting this full episode, and everyone on YouTube is getting half the episode. We love you, and we'll see you fully next week. We have a very interesting topic of the show today, Lauren. What is it?
There's something in my eye. It's our relationship rules. It was a TikTok trend. If you're on TikTok, people were like going through this list and saying like their rules or like opinions on different things. Yeah. So we're gonna tell you our relationship rules.
Yeah.
But first, let me take a selfie. Oh my gosh. Every time.
Wait, was that like a song?
That just activated such a deeply repressed memory.
That was the first Chainsmokers song, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
In like 2013 or 12.
We stand.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Anyway, but first,
let us take
we're
a
going to do our
highs and lows
of the week. Who wants to start us off?
I'll go first again. Why not? So my high was that I went to a party last week and it was really fun. I stayed out until 1 a.m. I was shocked at myself.
Whoa.
But it was fun. We had a great time. We were just dancing, breaking it down. It was great. I walked in and everyone's like, "Hey, Amy's here." And I was like, I'm famous.
You're like, I'm famous.
It was like surreal. Okay, I'm
That's
telling
funny.
you, it was really fun. And then my low is that before that I had a crisis that I'm saving for my next crisis segment. So you won't hear about that today in this very moment, but you'll hear about it next time I have a current crisis to tell you because it was a crisis.
LOL.
But yeah.
My low.
Ventimiglia?
That's
Sorry, I
so
love him.
funny when I'm talking about my low.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, my low was that I started my period. And it
guys both
was
whispered your
so
lows.
horrible. When I tell you, it ruined my whole day.
Oh.
I did nothing. Literally nothing the whole day. I laid there in excruciating pain. I went downstairs. I was going to try to make breakfast. No. I literally couldn't stand for long enough to make breakfast. So I
Wow.
ordered food. And guess what? It wasn't even good. The burrito, I ordered a
that's
breakfast
sad.
burrito, not even good. Like the cheese wasn't fully melted and it was like lukewarm, horrible. Was I going to go down and microwave it? No, I wasn't going to do that. So I sat there in pain. Literally horrible pain. Worst day ever.
That's
Horrible.
really sad, Laura.
But my high though was that my cycle was a lot longer this month, which is a good sign of health
Yeah.
for me.
That is a good sign.
And at first I was concerned. I was like, it's never gonna come because usually my cycle is like 24 days or something, and this was like 30 days, which I think is
that's
good.
good.
Like that's like
really
I think
good.
I heard like 28 is like most like healthy or ideal thing.
Yeah,
But, like,
around there, yeah.
30, like that's pretty close. And I was
For
like,
you.
this is good. And I was scared. I was like, what if something went wrong? But it didn't go wrong. So I was
think there's,
actually
like-
very happy to be in excruciating pain.
I think there's a range of like, you want it to be kind of like around 28 and then not like higher than a certain, I think it's like higher than like 34 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then you don't want it to be low, like too much lower than.
Well, okay,
but
because
yeah.
you Google it and they're like, a normal cycle is 1 minute to 12,000 years. And it's like, okay, well,
1 minute to 12,000
But it's like,
years.
is that healthy though? Or is that just normal?
Yeah, I think like I think like the fertility people that I don't know anything, but the people that I follow that are like, oh, I'm a fertility specialist lady, Dr. Brightman, she's awesome. They say like if it's too short or too long, that can be a sign of like something could be off.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
So
though.
I was
That's
very
great.
happy.
Good for you.
I used to consistently have a really short cycle, and then mine got longer when I really started prioritizing my health and my well-being.
Good for
love
you,
it. That was
Kathy.
Okay, did you finish yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it?
My low, I feel like Amy's current crisis, but it's not as intense as yours. I'll just call
humorous?
I'll call this the library debacle.
We love a debacle.
I love the library. Like, I have the cutest library. It's out in the country, and it's just like this precious like little country library, and I literally go there just because I love
to see it.
Love the experience of driving down the country roads. And I found this book that I heard about on a podcast, and I really wanted to get it. The podcaster, shout out to Nancy Ray, she's awesome. She was like, this book is so good. I cried. I'm like, oh, I gotta read it. And it's called The Great Blue Hills of God, and it's supposed to be the story about like loss and like this family and all this stuff that happened. It just seemed like a really interesting book. So I put in a hold, and there was like no one else in line. So I was like, great, I'm gonna get this book so quick. And then, anyway, this is a very long story, so I'm going to try to condense it. Basically, I tried to put a hold in. I never got an email that my book was ready. Amy's eating taquitos. Cool. Is that what those are? Taquitos?
Yes.
For some reason, I was thinking of like something else, but anyway. So I never got an email that my book was ready. It turns out it went to my junk. I called them because it was like apparently the last day that it was even available. And even I was checking my email every day to see if it came in. And they were like, oh, sorry, yeah, it's only available today. Don't worry about it. We'll put a hold for you and we'll extend it till Friday. I'm like, great. So I have all week. I had a crazy week. Finally, Friday, I'm like, I have to get my book. The only time I could do it, I had to load up the twins in the car, bring the stroller because I didn't have anyone there. And it was time for them to go down for their nap. I'm like, I'm getting my book because it had been like 2 weeks of me not getting it when I was supposed to have it.
You got it.
So I took the twins and I get there and they're like, oh, we don't see a book here for you. Sorry. And then they called the guy who was there when I did it. And he was like, oh, sorry, I must have ignored my own note. And like and giving it back to, because libraries, like they like loan it out.
I love it.
So anyway, it took me forever. And I finally got my book yesterday. Or no, 2 days? Yesterday.
Is
2
it
days
good?
ago.
Good.
It's really good.
Okay, good. At least it's good.
I've been reading it, and I also downloaded the audiobook because so I listened to it. I've actually like listened and read a lot of it so far, probably like 7 or 8 chapters. It's really good. It's a really enticing story about this like really wild, like just family and all this stuff. Anyway,
You love a family drama story.
yeah, totally. I'm like, wow, I'm always drawn to these books. Of course, I
love
had
to
to read
see
it.
it.
But yeah,
Love
and then
drama.
so I'd say that was my low, and then my high is that I reorganized my pantry.
Woo!
I'll show you guys the before and after. I really didn't do a great job. I kind of just put things in bins, but like,
Still.
but it's not like one of those people where they like literally take everything and put it in a beautiful clear bin with a
that's
label.
just too far.
I just can't do that.
That's a lot.
I admire people that can, but I ain't one of those people.
I feel like that has to be like your hobby to do that. Like it's
Yeah.
not something you just do. It's like, oh, I love to do this.
Yeah.
I want to
So,
do this.
I think I'm gonna post in my story. I did it before and after. I was like, oh, it actually looks pretty decent.
Yeah, put it in the
But-
story.
God, put it on
Still
your
got some
story. The
work.
people are begging.
Okay.
They're begging.
They are begging.
Our next segment before we get into the relationship rules is called 5 Perspectives. But today it's just
three.
Just 3 pops.
This question is, how would you rate your summer? On a scale of 1 to 10, how was it, guys? This is like a little reflection moment to get to know us, get a peek into our lives. How was your summer? My summer, it's really complicated, I would say, because it was very busy and I was very stressed. I was working a lot. And I feel like, August slipped away like a bottle of wine.
It did.
You know what I mean? Like, it's Taylor Swift lyric, guys. Come on. And I just like, it didn't really live it. You know what I mean?
But you did a lot for your personal music, which was pretty cool.
So it was good. It just didn't really feel like summer. It felt like it could have really been any time of year. So I didn't really do like summer stuff. So I don't know. It was mixed feelings. I guess it was kind of exciting though. So I would rate it like a 7. It was still
also
good.
really hot this year.
Oh, I hated that.
Really
I
hot
hated
this
it so
year.
much.
I don't know if that was normal, but it was super hot. I would give my summer a solid 8. I did a great job.
You really
As
live
I do.
summer. You live it up.
Yes. I live, laugh, love summer.
Yeah,
with
Amy's
all that
always
I
like
have.
at the pool with a book. Like I'm like, wow, this is the thing dreams are made of.
Except for I keep getting weird rashes on the back of my legs from the pool.
Probably the chlorine or something.
Yeah, I think it's from like a heat rash from the chairs too. It's just the whole
That
thing.
is so weird.
It's so bizarre.
I think that it's expectations versus reality. I think I have way too high of expectations because every summer since I was like 16, I would make a special journal just for summer.
Oh yeah,
And I
those
would
are
make,
so cute.
I literally did them up until like, I think last summer I stopped doing it, but I'm like, I need to bring it back at one point. But when I actually do the things that I say in the journal, so like I would try to fill the whole journal and I pretty much accomplish it every summer for like almost 10 years.
And you put like cute pictures of you
and then I would put pictures and I would make a to-do list. And one thing I'd always put on the to-do list, so this to me is a big measure of summer, is swim in the ocean, a lake, and a pool.
Oh.
Summer was the first summer that I did not swim in the ocean.
Oh,
not one time. And it is very sad. I mean, I have
Where
twin
did you
babies.
swim in it last year?
We went to Florida. Max and I went to Florida last summer, which was horrifyingly hot, but it was nice to swim in the ocean.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. And my other things would be like read 12 books from the library. I think I read like 3 or 4 books this summer. It's not too bad.
12 books.
Yeah, I don't know why. I would always try to read 12 books a summer, which I usually read like 6 or 7.
4 a month, I feel like.
Yeah, that was always my goal. But because I'm like, ooh, summer is a time to do summer reading. And I would make a whole summer reading list. But I don't know.
Okay.
This summer I did go to the library one time. I swam in the pool. I would say I would give it like a 5. It was like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not the best, not the worst.
We'll get him next year, guys.
Yeah, it's hard when you have, like, my babies were 9, 10, 11 months during the summer. So it's just like a very demanding schedule at that age. And I'm like, it is what it is.
And you have twins.
We did the
It's
best
like
we could.
double whammy.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Hello from the future.
Hey.
This week's episode is sponsored by Green Chef.
We love you, Green Chef.
We love Green Chef because they are the #1 meal kit for eating well.
Ooh.
So you can choose from 24 options every week, and there's options to mix and match for different preferences. Green Chef has tons of options for all different lifestyles. So they've got keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, fast and fit, Mediterranean, and gluten-free. They have pre-made and pre-measured sauces, dressings, spices to get you more chef-curated flavor in less time.
Ooh.
They really do.
They curate a chef flavor.
It's fast and convenient.
Oh, we love to hear it.
So we've had some great personal experiences of making Green Chef meals.
Their meals hit every time.
Every single personal
so
experience was
good.
great. Every meal I've
not
had.
exaggerating.
That I've had from them.
Okay.
Yeah, I literally kept all the recipe cards because I was like, I have to make these meals again. They were so easy.
so good.
But it literally was like a chef came in your house, but you were the chef.
And it was so fun because you don't have to like, do this and that and that. It's like the easier fun parts of cooking, but you still feel accomplished. Like, wow, I made this great meal.
I feel like
and now it's so healthy too.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yes, their meals are and the ingredients are always so fresh and delicious. I feel like they really opened up my heart to different kinds of cooking and not the same one meal that I make.
Yes.
I think they really did. So thank you, Green Chef.
One week they gave me it was a barbecue pork with like cranberry sauce.
That was so good. I got that
and
one too.
mashed potatoes, and I think it was Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
It was delicious. I made it again like the next week just with what I had on hand because it was so good.
We could literally go on all day.
Yeah, we love Green Chef. So if you would like to try it out, you think you guys are going to love it.
I know you do.
Go to greenchef.com/Cimorelli135 and use the code Cimorelli135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes. And your first box ships free.
Love
So
to see it.
go to greenchef.com/Cimorelli135, use the code Cimorelli135 to get $135 off across 5 boxes. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoy. We know you're going to love it. Give it a try.
Okay, so I don't know if I already said this, but basically I didn't say this. There was a TikTok trend that was happening. If you're on Instagram Reels, you probably see these videos in about 3 years.
Oh, for sure.
But there was a TikTok trend.
I love it. Bullying people on Reels. Yep.
That was where people would post like this list of specific things and then say their opinions or like their relationship rules. So everyone was like doing the same list.
They also would do it for parenting as well. Like just like, my
that's
future
not what
kids,
I'm
blah,
talking
blah.
about.
But it's like the same thing.
Sure.
Idea. Whatever.
So this is what I wanted to do because I always watch all of those. Like I don't even know who this person is. I'm like, oh, what are your rules about this and that? So I think we should just go through.
We're also nosy. I mean, I think it's human nature.
But let me turn
humans
my
are
phone
fascinating.
off of low power mode so it stops turning off. But I think we should just each say
what we
each
think.
thing. Like just go, this thing each say.
Yeah,
Next thing each say, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't need to go you all of them. You all.
Oh, yeah, no. Let's just stay on one topic.
Yeah. Okay, first one is...
Wait, can you explain the concept a little better? Like, what does it mean?
Well,
so basically, I'm going to say like a category topic, I don't know, and then you're just going to say what your like rules are, what your opinion is, what you do with that.
Yeah, no, I know what it is. I'm just like, I didn't know if people understood it. Because I think it's kind of like a newer trend, so I just want to make sure people understand it.
So it's like when someone's explaining a board game to you, you turn your ears off. You don't know any of the rules, and then they know that, and then they just say, just start playing it and you'll get it.
Yeah, just start, you'll get it.
All right, so first thing is sharing location. What's your stance on that?
Is this a rule?
Or do you
like,
not?
Do people like have to? Like, do some people like?
Well, some people like my like.
I think the word rule is
in the
throwing
sense
you
of
off,
like,
Kat.
like don't take it so literal. It's just kind of like
Your philosophy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your opinion.
Because for some
do
reason,
you
when I
do
think
it?
of rule, I think of like this is something that I always do in every relationship that people
Well,
say.
yeah, some people have that with location. Like, oh, I have to share it.
Yeah.
Like deal breaker.
okay,
Or I will never do it.
I am notoriously against sharing my location. My family
gosh,
all
yeah.
had.
We all shared each other's location, and you wouldn't, as if she's like going out robbing
I don't
banks
know
at night.
why.
Where is
Like,
Catherine going?
I just had a rebellious moment of like, I don't want to share my. I don't even know why I didn't want to, but they all share their location together, and I just was like, no, I'm not sharing mine. And it's not even that I was going anywhere. I went to like church and
It's
the
like
store, like
independence.
yeah. I just like I didn't want people in my business.
You want freedom.
Yeah, I feel
But
that.
now that I'm married, I really think my husband and I should turn on our locations. I actually thought about this the other day. I'm like, I literally have called him so many times badgering him like, hey, how far are you from home? When are you home from work? Like
you wouldn't even have
and
to
it would just
do
be so
that.
convenient if I could be like, oh, he's on the freeway. Okay, he'll be home in 20 minutes. Like I kind of
Can
want
you
to
even
start.
do that? Even because he doesn't have an iPhone.
He has he has Android. We probably do like
you
an
just
app.
use an app. Yeah, like what's
So
that one?
I think I'm in,
So,
yeah.
Life 360.
Oh,
I'm not in favor of it, but I also think some people use this as like a control thing.
Yeah.
Where they're like, I must have
That's
your location
weird.
because I have trust issues and I think you're going to cheat on me or something. I don't know. So I can see how it could be a negative thing, but I think depending on how chill you are or not chill, this is like fine.
Yeah.
I love sharing location. For some reason, me and my boyfriend didn't share it for a year and a half.
I can
dating,
understand
okay.
why though.
I just didn't think about it. I feel like it's more of a thing for the youths, you know, like teens, like, you know, Snap Map, like everyone sharing their location on Snapchat. I'm not on Snapchat.
Yeah, no,
like,
absolutely
sorry,
not.
guys. But we just started sharing it like a few months ago, and it really changed my life.
Wow.
I think also because he's not like the best, like, updater. He doesn't really like update. Oh, now I'm doing this. Oh, now I'm doing that. Whereas like, you know, for me, if I'm running late, right, I can stop in the middle of running late to text, hey, I'm running late.
Yeah.
I don't have to wait till I get to the car to then say, oh, I'm leaving now. I could say before that, I'm going to be leaving late.
Yeah.
Right? He doesn't really like do that. He
How late
lives
are we talking here?
just anything that's like notable.
Like, what's your definition of notable? I think everyone has
It
different
depends on the
different
situation.
definition.
If I'm just like going to watch a movie at a friend's house, I'm not like, I gotta let you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave in 10 minutes. Well, no, I still do though. I'm like, okay,
I
I'm
think
leaving in
it's
10
like
minutes.
anything more than like 15 minutes, in my opinion.
Yeah, but
You
it's
should
just
let
like,
someone
okay,
know.
we were gonna talk on the phone at 7. I would like update someone multiple times beforehand so they really know if we're going to talk at 7 or not.
that's
you know
true.
what I mean?
I agree.
But he's more of a talker than a texter too. So it was just really helpful because it's like, oh, he got caught up in a conversation at work. Instead of having to text me in the middle of the convo, which he would never do, and be like, oh, hey, sorry, I'm in this convo, one sec. Like he just wouldn't do that. You know, he lives in the moment. I can just look, oh, he's still at work. Didn't leave yet. Okay. Like for me, it just helps. And maybe it's also because we're long distance. I don't know. It just helps
feels
me
connected.
like plan better and feel more secure because I know like what's happening.
Yeah.
It's almost like you're like psychic. Because you're like, I know where they are, but they didn't tell me. It's an
like
interesting concept.
Certain people are really like, they update you what's going on. Really like
I'm one of those
promptly.
people, yeah.
I do that and I like to
am
know.
kind of like
because I like to plan everything.
If there's any change in a plan, like if I'm like, hey, I'll be at your house at 5:30 and then I get a snag, I'll immediately text and be like, hey, a snag came up, I'll be there at 5:45.
Yeah. That's
Like-
5:45 is the snag.
What? 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 How is that?
Yeah.
A 45-minute
Are you just
snag.
gonna show up to someone at 5:45 when you said you'd be there at 5:30?
No, a snag is like 10 minutes, not 45.
You said 5 and then 5:45.
I meant 5:30 and 5:45.
Okay, as a mom of twins, though, you could
You can
definitely
have a
have
lot
a
of
45-minute
snag.
snag. Let's be real.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like moms get it with other moms. Like they're like, oh, they want to go down for the nap, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
I get it.
So,
But yeah, no, I think I like to update people because I think it's like common courtesy.
Yeah.
But I understand people can be in the moment too. I get that.
yeah.
Okay, when Lauren explained it that way to me the other day, then it made sense because all my answers will be more conjecture based on the last like guy or two that I dated. And the last guy that I dated, he was allergic to telling me where he was, kind of like yours is. And like he'd be like, okay, we're gonna go out at like this time. And I'd be like, cool. And then he's like, he gets back from the gym and he's like, oh, dang it, I forgot to put my pants in the dryer. And so then it's like this whole thing. Or like one time he left, but he forgot to tell me that he left, but I conjectured on my own that he left. So he got to my house at the time he was supposed to be there.
But you didn't know.
Yes, but I was already ready because I was like, I feel like he left. So I'm just going to get ready anyway.
Was that the time you agreed on?
Yes, but he
you
didn't
could
tell me
also
that he
ask.
left.
You
True.
could ask too.
Yeah. But like he literally was like, oh, I'm here. Dang it, I forgot to tell you that I left. And I was like, that would have been nice to
if you agreed at like,
No.
if you're like, okay, we're going to hang out tonight at 7. Okay, cool. See you then. I feel like unless they say anything, you should just assume they're going to be there at 7.
Yeah.
Cat.
I always
Mr.
double check, though.
doesn't dry his pants.
Yeah,
Never
you
gonna be
never
there at
know
7.
with some of those
That's
people.
true. You're like, is it going to be 7? Is it going to be 8?
locale, I would have been easier.
Yeah. If it's someone
And
who's
it's like,
unpredictable.
I feel like the best part of it is just being able to know like how far away they are, like when they
Yeah.
left, like travel time. I feel like it's just so nice to know.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Especially if you like more laid back people.
Now I'm realizing that I am not laid back about this, and I get really annoyed if I have plans with someone at a certain time and they don't tell me and they're just really late. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Like I wasted all that time waiting, and I could have
Yeah.
been cleaning or doing something.
Wait, so what's your rule?
I
or
would do
whatever?
it then.
Okay.
Yeah, because like especially like I'm thinking about it, and I definitely would.
It would save me a lot of phone calls.
Stop it.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna say it would save me a lot of unnecessary phone calls. Like, hey, when are you gonna be home?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
or like
Yeah, we need to do it.
you could
And
just
then it's
know to
like-
get ready and like how far they would be.
Especially if they're driving too. It's
yeah,
like,
you can't really text. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want
Yeah.
to call them.
Or like they're stuck in traffic. Yeah.
and he had like a 30-minute drive, so it was like
I don't know about you, but if like my person is like late, I'm like, oh my gosh, they died. Like that's my first
no.
thought.
I'm just like I'm waiting. I'm anxious.
I'm like, they got in a car accident. They died.
I'm like, well, you're late. I'm gonna do what I wanted to do right now. Then, sorry.
yeah.
You just leave the restaurant. You're like,
Well,
bye.
I'm like, I always waited for people my whole life, and then I realized, you know what? You can just do what you wanted to do. You don't have to sit there and wait
Yeah.
if people are gonna be late.
Yeah.
Just do what you wanted to do anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, next thing is passwords. Sharing your passwords or not. This is like passcode to your phone and also like social media passwords.
No.
We haven't shared,
I believe in privacy.
but I don't think we'd be opposed to it. I don't think either of us. Max literally has like spreadsheets. What is he hiding on his spreadsheet? I mean, I don't think he's hiding anything.
I just feel like it's weird.
I've never felt the need to get his password. I don't not like I want to see who you're texting. It's like I just
well,
trust.
because I
don't
feel
know.
like if you really wanted to look at something, you could be like, "Oh, can I look?"
yeah,
Like,
you could
what
just
would
ask.
you need to look
Yeah.
at in
I've
their-
never had
I
a
don't
remote
know.
feeling that he was
Instagram.
doing something shady, so I've never felt the need to ask. But I feel like if I asked, you would be like, yeah, sure.
I mean, the phone passcode would like probably make sense because if you're spending a lot of time with someone, like usually that just comes up sometimes. Like, oh,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I know your passcode.
yeah, you've given it out before.
Well, he has one of those Android phones where you have to do like a pattern. And he showed it to me, and
A little
I
art drawing.
I cannot for the
He
life of me
would.
remember what the pattern
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in privacy. Although, like, the true crime podcasts say you should have a list, like a little binder of like if I go missing. So like with all your passwords and all those things and important,
good.
like
That's
pertinent
interesting.
information.
Okay, I mean, we don't share passwords with each other. I think we have told each other our passcodes. But I don't remember. And I don't think he remembers. You know, like it wasn't something like, oh, I gotta memorize this. But I'm not like opposed to sharing passwords. I just don't really get why.
Yeah,
You
and I
need
think if
to.
like you're with someone that you've been with for a long time and they like react like, why do you want my password? I feel like they shouldn't react like that.
But why do you want their password?
Well, because, okay, it's like,
what do you need on their Instagram?
Like asking for a friend.
Do you need to read their DMs? like... What could you... Do you need to post... You know what? Get their password.
You know what?
Pictures of yourself on there.
One time I went on Max's Instagram because he asked me to, because we were on a drive and he wanted me to post something for him.
That's different.
So it's like, I feel like there are certain circumstances where you do need to get on.
But wouldn't they just like give you their phone with their Instagram?
They could, but...
That makes sense to me.
I wouldn't have his accounts like on my phone.
Do people do that?
I wouldn't do that.
Is that a real thing that people do in this world?
I think that's
don't know,
weird.
but I feel like they definitely do.
I would never. I'm sorry, honey.
Which this kind of goes into the next one, which is messages, which I'm interpreting that as, would you go through their messages?
Thanks for listening to the Cimorelli podcast. To hear the rest of this episode, join our Patreon at patreon.com/Cimorelli, where we post every episode in full. You can also watch all of our past seasons and Patreon-only episodes when you become a patron.
You've been listening to the Cimorelli podcast. Follow Cimorelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimorelli on Facebook and Instagram.